everybody. As you can see, 'tis the season to do some maintenance. I'm gonna do a clutch kit on the XMR today. You can see it's snowing out. We don't have a lot of snow, but I'm still recovering from my concussion, so I can't go sledding. So it's maintenance time. Alright, clutch time. Dalton. We're going to go with the Dalton clutch kit. I'm not going to spend $2,000 on new clutches this year. I already put money into pipes and springs and tuners and you name it. So this is for 2016 Can-Am Outlander XMR 850. The kit DBO 850M. Got two springs, one for the primary, one for the secondary. I ordered a brand new bolt for the secondary. A lot of guys recommend replacing that bolt, so that I'm doing. Apparently you can reuse the primary. And there's the weights and the rivets. We're putting those in. They give you a nice little sticker and some instructions, which I'm going to have to read pretty good because I'm not real mechanically inclined, but I haven't played with clutches before, so this will be a learning experience. So let's get into it. So this isn't going to be a how-to because I'm not a mechanic, but this is how I'm doing it. I've watched a few videos, a lot of information out there, a couple good videos, and we got instructions. So apparently it's not too difficult. I've changed the belt before at least. Alright, there's our factory Can-Am clutches. That belt's actually not bad for, put it on last fall, so it's still good. So now apparently these are spring loaded, so when you undo them they'll want to pop out. But first of all we got to loosen off the belt. So we put the bolt in the threaded hole. Just enough. Gotta remember to put the rotation the right way towards the front. And I'll take the bolt back out. Okay, so this bolt out front here is a 19mm. Alright, so that center bolt was a was a bitch to loosen off. I had to put a strap around here to hold it to get it loose, but it's loose. So this primary should come right off. Gotta hold it in. Bolt, two washers, and she pops out. Now you gotta leave this center, you gotta leave the center bearing and the sleeve in there. That's the primary clutch. That's the spring. So that's the spring we're going to be changing out. And the weights, I'll take this apart in a bit. Alright, the secondary. This is where you need 3 hands. I've already got this loose now. I had to hold it and get it loose. So I'll hold it in. Take the bolt out. And then you slowly let it out. And that's the spring there. So I'm going to have to blow this out with all the dust. And then these have to go back into the helix here properly. Make sure the helix is on the splines properly. There's the new spring and the old spring. A little bit of difference, not a lot, but enough, I guess. Okay, I'm going to try and put this back together. Spring's got two ends. One has to go in the helix in a hole down here. The other one, there's a hole right there. So we'll put that on, we'll try and line it up, and then we'll make sure that we get the helix ends, make sure the helix is on the spline, and then get the helix ends into here. Oh, this should be fun. Alright, that was a struggle to squeeze this in. Okay, tighten that up a bit. I had to put this in drive and put the brakes on, and then at least you can work this in on the helix there. So I should be able to put the belt screw in now and open those sheaths all the way. If the sheath stops halfway, it's not quite in the helix. It's a pretty good learning experience. All right, so that's obviously on good. You got a little bit of a clockwise turn to push that into where the helix goes into the grooves. But then all you gotta do is torque this sucker. So I'll have to hold it and... Okay, we're gonna torque this to 44 foot-pounds. They also recommend 243 Loctite on here, which I put on. So here we go. Okay, I'm gonna hold this and you can. And there we go. Click. 44 foot-pounds. So that's the secondary. Helix was in the splines. Nice. The grooves went into the helix on the secondary. Torqued, Loctite. And now we'll go to the primary. See what damage we can do there. Alright, primary. We've got the bolt out. We'll reuse this bolt. Spring. There's the new spring. A little bit thicker. Hold these halves together so they don't come apart. Now, you see to mark this somewhere, so when you take it apart, you can line it up again, same spot. And you pull this up slowly. And there's your weights. And these are the new stuff. Got three weights. And we got a different selection of rivets. And you can go with no rivets, aluminum, steel, brass, We're gonna go with the brass. Heard the brass work all right. So you gotta put them in, and then you gotta press it together in a vise. And these will go every third or every second one, so be like that. So next I gotta loosen off these little bolts that hold the weights in. 8mm works on the nuts, and T25 Torx on the bolt part. So we'll take these off, and there's two washers, one there and one there on each side of the weight there that we'll have to watch, and they'll have to go back in again. There's one of the old weights. It says 587 on it. New weight. We're gonna have to put the brass rivets in. It says DB37C. Whatever that means. Got a number there too, 3651. So we're replacing every second one, so it'll be 3 alternating. So I'm going to do the brass rivets. We'll just put them in and then squish them together in a vise. All 3 new weights, brass rivets, all in the same way. Make sure you hold it to the flush side, and then supposed to be able to squeeze these together. Yeah, put a little bar on for a little bit more power there. Oh, there, riveted on nicely. We'll do that for the other 2, and then we'll put them in. Alright, now comes the tricky part. Getting these little washers in. So, if we start these, there we go. All right. New weights are in. Rivets are in. All right. So now, this is where the marks come in handy. Mark and a mark. And make sure all these little plastic things are in, you didn't lose them. Put it in nice and easy. Lined up. New spring, bolt. And now we can go install it. Okay, you're reading the instruction manual here. When you do the secondary, you always change the bolt. They're only a 1 use on the secondary, and the new bolt requires Loctite 243 blue. The primary bolt can be reused, and according to this, it gets tightened down to 89 foot-pounds. I've heard a lot of people saying it's 74, but we're going to go with what Dalton has on here. So, new spring, new primary spring. Just twist it in. Keep all that together. Now, see if we can do this myself here. All right, the front wasn't so bad. Primary is a little easier than the secondary. All right, now we got to torque that down, 89 foot-pounds. I'm going to have to strap this up again to hold it. All right, we got our torque to 89 on the primary. Just checking the belt here. Seems pretty good, doesn't seem to be any flat spots or anything on it. Rotation forward. Okay. And then we put the cover back on and that's the kit. We'll just clean this up nice so the rubber sits nice and tight. And that's the Dalton clutch kit. And what it does, they're supposed to do, is higher the RPM that you engage in. Makes your RPMs a little higher that you engage in so you can get good engine speed to spin these big tires. So we're good to go. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. It was a learning experience for me. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the trails.